How you doing today, folks? So, I went back and forth a lot in regards to actually posting this video. You know, when you review something, you kind of have to give it your heart and your opinion. And, if it's a massive production company, they make one bad model, it's not really an issue. There's so much more out there. When you review a custom, this is someone's blood, their sweat, their tears, their hard work, and their labor with their own two hands. So it's something that you really kind of have to really try to take in consideration. On one hand, you kind of have to be brutal about it because this isn't some massive piece on a factory. This is a singular person or small shop, and there's no reason why duds and bad pieces should be let out of the shop. But sometimes it happens. Now, in the case of this, it's pretty bad. Also, it's a one-man shop, and it's this person's livelihood, and I was honestly just going to bury it. Even though this is bad, just, leave it alone, not talk about it, and just hope that, maybe it gets better over time. But I always preach about being honest, not being dishonest. I preach about honesty and love and caring and, us being better people and being direct and upfront and everything else. So I can't just bury it. This is a review for a Ron Hewitt custom, and it's not a good one. It's just not at all. And Mr. Hewitt, if you happen to be watching this video, I doubt you are, but if you do, I really and genuinely hope you improve your make and your models and your designs and some other stuff to make this into something that was acceptable for mass market consumption or even just individual consumption. I really hope this does not impact your livelihood, and I really hope that you take these criticisms and these critiques to heart because they really do come from a genuine place of love. I'm not some random person on the internet trying to badmouth you or damage your product and reputation. That's just not who I am at all, and apparently I can't talk. Reputation. I'm not trying to damage your reputation. This really comes from a sincere love because I want every knife to be amazing. I want every maker to be amazing. I don't want anything to be bad, and sometimes it just is, and that just happens to be the case. So again, Mr. Maker, if you happen to be watching this, I don't know you, but I got love for you, and I really hope you pull through and you improve. Take care and enjoy the video. How you doing today, folks? So today I have a review for you of a full custom knife. This is a knife by Mr. Ron Hewitt. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Now, a brief little interlude, or a prelude, I guess. So the guy who originally introduced me to knives and everything else was a really good friend of mine, right? He happened to be my boss at the time, and just I don't know, just was talking to me about stuff, and he kept on trying to get me to try different things or whatever. And he carried a full custom by Mr. Ron Hewitt. It was beautiful. He absolutely loved it, and he let me carry it a couple of times. He bought me my actual first knife, which was my first semi-high-end knife, which is actually a full-on custom. Just to really trying to get me into the hobby, really just trying to show me how good this whole thing is. Prior to that, I had a old Buck 110 and a few other little budget pieces, but nothing even remotely approaching customs or high quality in general. Bucks aren't bad quality by any means, but they're not the most highest quality either. They're decent. So, long story short, that original custom knife, he actually had to pawn off about 1.5 years ago. His business went belly up. We maintained we maintained our friendship, but he had to pawn it off. This knife is, well, as far as I can tell, it's not even gonna say it's similar to his original one, but it's it's a full Hewitt custom, and I know he doesn't really watch my YouTube channel or do anything else like that. He's not a very tech savvy person. He's very old fashioned, so I don't anticipate this being any type of spoiler for him or surprise gift. But Anyways, I just saw it available for sale. This is from Rob Bigsby, or the Apostle P channel. And it really kind of just spoke to me. I was like, you know what? Like it just seems like it's meant to be. And it's within my price range, and I can do something for somebody who did a whole lot for me. Because I genuinely got nothing but love for this man. And it just seemed right. So I'm looking forward to unboxing this, checking it out, and then passing it on to somebody who has genuinely improved my life in absolutely incredible ways. So with all that being said, let's get going. Okay. First impressions, not sure why you would pack a full custom with magazine paper. There's no zippered pouch or anything. There's just paper. That's not really okay, but I guess as long as it got here safe. All right then. Anyways, ignore the negative and let's see this. Oh, that's cool actually. So it still has a pouch, just like a shag rug, like an old apartment rug. I don't know. Oh, that is really nice. Look at that freaking I don't know if that's Damascus or like I forgot what it's called, but there's like a black mokutai, which is kind of like smoke gray like that. That is really cool. Carbon fiber, a couple of voids in it, but nothing too bad. I do like that solid backspacer. Never been a huge fan of carbon fiber clips. Their retention just isn't quite as much as I would like. As you can see, that's already hanging off a decent amount. That'll slide right out of the pocket easily, but it also doesn't have much retention. Wow. That is really sharp. Okay. All right, anyways, let's get to it. So this is a 440C from what I recall, blade, which again, a lot of custom makers use what's considered to be lower end steels, not because it's just easier to work with. Again, there's no real necessarily low end steel. There's just different steels for different purposes. This one happens to be heat treated very well from what I understand. And what the? Oh, okay, I'm not sure if you can hear this. Maybe. There's a lot blade play. I don't know if you can hear that or not. You can actually hear it clicking in the bolster. Okay. The flick. It does not flick. Okay, if you put a whole lot of wrist into it, that actually hurt my wrist. It'll flick. But it's decent for thumb deployment. There's no spidey flick because there's piece isn't there, but yeah, it's all right. Ow. There's an immediate hot spot right here. This liner isn't quite recessed enough, so you get this jimping, which just stabs your finger. This is also really sharp. Yeah, Jesus. I can see it digging into my hand. I can't get over this. Why would there be this much? I mean, look at this. Can you hear that? Ah, I hit the camera. Why would there be that much blade play in a custom? Like, hear that rattle? What the fuck? Excuse my language, man, but seriously, like, what the fuck? Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm focusing too much on stuff. The ergonomics are, man, every time you even start to touch this blade, you can feel it rock. It's just ridiculous. There's like nowhere comfortable to hold this knife. This weird swell thing, which, I don't know, gives it kind of a cool profile when you're just sitting like that. It looks pretty unique. But as soon as you actually want to hold it, this is really uncomfortable. Okay, if you feel like holding your knife like this is comfortable. This knife's become a pistol basically, but this is now comfortable. And anything else is just hotspot off of hotspot. And again, every time I even touch the blade, you can just hear it rock. Not only can you feel it rock, you can hear it rock. Man, you guys know I try really hard to be positive about everything. I am upset right now. I'm really fucking upset. Okay, let's try to refocus this whole thing. Size comparisons, your full size Griptilian. It's a little bigger than the Griptilian because this gigantic fat handle thing. Again, the aspect ratio makes a big difference. Griptilian looks bigger like this. Here it's not. But again, you show it like that. This is just a little bit bigger, mostly because of this gigantically fat handle. PM2. Pretty comparable in size to the PM2. PM2's blade just a little bit longer. I don't know. Paragon knives, Warlock. Unsurprisingly enough, much smaller than the Warlock. And I don't know, I've been carrying this thing lately, so why the hell not? This is the Artisan Cutlery Kinetic Tool in Copper. It's obviously much smaller than that, but that's not really to be, no one's surprised by that. 4-inch blade. Balisongs are pretty long. Well, this is a tool, but you get the idea. So, let's just try to break this down here. The grind on the blade itself is slightly uneven. You can see that little bit of kind of deviation in the edge. It's not anything major, but it's definitely there. This tip is kind of blunted. Yeah, this is, doesn't even hurt. That's a completely blunted tip. From what I understand, this sat in a safe the whole time, so this is just how this came. So slightly uneven grind. This side looks a little bit better. Other side has a couple of issues, and then again this very blunt tip. The thumb stud is this. I don't really know what it is, honestly. It's like a kind of like a lug nut, but it just has this weird texturing. I do appreciate the very minimalist approach in terms of branding, just this little Hewitt on the blade right there. The action on close is, it's definitely not what you would consider to be a fidget knife. Nothing drop shuts. So it's disengaged right now and it's still not going anywhere. You have to actually press down on it. The blade centering is slightly off. It slightly favors the show scale. The clip is an immediate hot spot. Just holding this knife is an immediate hot spot. Not even counting this weird swell of the handle, this knife just is not comfortable at all. It's very hot spotty. Like, this hurts, right here hurts. This piece, which is really smooth over here, there's a slight kind of thing popping out right here that you can't really feel when you're doing this, but as soon as you actually close your hand around it, you can kind of see the little cutout right there of it. You know, guys, again, I try really hard to always stay positive and to be happy. I'm really unhappy right now. And I don't want to spend the next 20 minutes or whatever ranting about how unhappy I am. So I think I'm actually going to cut it here. As far as first impressions on this knife, again, I rate things as far as if there's one problem and it's a minor problem, 0.5 points will be taken off of it. If more problems happen subsequent to that first one, it becomes a bigger issue and a bigger issue and a bigger issue. So the slightly uneven blade grind, the completely blunted tip, the bolsters are very nice, but there is a pretty big hot spot right here where, I don't know if you can catch it on camera, but this is completely flush. You can't feel it at all. Same thing right here. It's really flush. It was done very well. This scale is just this Damascus piece or whatever this might be is raised up a little bit, and it's just an immediate, very, very sharp hot spot. This clip is a hot spot. This is really, really sharp. This is a full custom, so I can't just sand down the clip and it'll be okay. Like it'll lower the value of it immediately. This is really sharp. This is not okay at all. Look at that. Just touch it for a second. There's literally an indent in my finger. The design with this massive swell in the, pommel, it's just weird. It's a design choice, so I can't knock it too much, but I don't understand. Look how small that is. If somebody would have to have unbelievably tiny hands, again, I have 2XL hands. I have bigger than most, but this is a hot spot for me on 3 fingers because it starts to hit the swell and then it loses all the ergonomics. So even like this with my pinky sticking out like I'm going for a tea party, it's still an ergonomic nightmare. Maybe if you had medium hands, but then if you had medium hands, you'd still have that much sticking out, and that is also strange. So, because that's an aesthetic piece, I can't knock it too bad. It's a weird design choice, but it's a choice. Again, this is a full handmade custom knife, so those choices have to be taken into consideration. That's going to be 0.5. I'm gonna knock a whole 1.5 down for this. This piece right here is, man. I really wanted to like this knife. So let's go over it. Blunted tip, uneven blade grind, massive hot spot right here. Also on this liner lock, which this piece sticks out slightly over the actual scale, so this very sharp jimping digs into your hand. Another piece over here on top of the actual clip. Strange design, a couple of voids in the carbon fiber, which actually looks very nice, but you have to look close to see the voids. There definitely are voids, and again, this is a handmade custom, so that's not really an excuse, or there's no real excuses for that. My overall first impressions on this knife are a really unfortunate and a very confusing 30. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100. It is the lowest score I have ever given a knife. This is not a cheap knife. Now, mind you, Rob's a really good person, and I got it for a very, very fair price. I'm going to send this video to you. I don't want to be that person to complain about something, but I really kind of feel like I wasn't properly informed of what this is. Again, just hear this. I don't know if you can hear it or not, honestly. It's loud to me. It might not be loud to you, but this thing just rocks like absolute crazy. That's something that should really be mentioned in a sale. So I might message Apostle P or Rob. I might not, man. I really don't know. Again, I don't want to be that person to just complain about it and everything else. And again, Rob just facilitates sales. So if he were to take it back, then he has to eat that. It's a whole bunch of different stuff that is just really not good and really not okay. So yeah, 30, the lowest scoring knife I've ever had on my channel, or just in general. I am sad. I am genuinely sad, and I don't even know if I can give this to my friend. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find another, you know, custom Hewitt for a fair price. And yeah, I don't know what to do here. So with all that being said, I love you guys very, very much. Thank you so much for your likes, your subscribes, your comments. My channel continues to grow, and I love you guys very much for it. This whole thing is for you. It only happens because of you, and I really and genuinely appreciate you. And it almost sounds sarcastic when I'm saying that because I'm just really down in the fucking dumps right now. But just know that I really do appreciate all of you very, very much. And my melancholy tone is not a reflection on you. It's just a reflection on this piece that's still on camera. Take care, folks.